Hello, this is Hugh. This just arrived today. This is a Blade 120S2 that I found on eBay. It has been crashed and it does have some damage, but it's not really major stuff, so I think this is going to be a really good thing. So here, let's get a quick look at it here. And okay, you can see it's in the original packaging, which is nice because it gets sandwiched in and protects it really well. So here we go, and here's the helicopter. I said that cosmetically it's in good shape, so there's no real major damage to the front end of this thing. It looks really good. No damage to the skids. I did notice that, I don't know how they managed that, but the battery's in backwards. So I'm going to have to take the canopy off to get the battery out. I've never seen that before. That's interesting. So anyway, one good thing is I noticed that also one thing I checked right away is the pins. None of the mounting pins for the canopy are broken. So a lot of times, I'm sorry, moving that around too much. A lot of times in a hard crash, these pins, plastic pins, mounting pins, will get broken off. Especially the lower ones that seems to happen more often. So there's no apparent damage to the canopy at all. There's no breaks in the landing gear. Nothing scuffed up or anything. The main rotor blades look great. So you can see we've got a, well, hopefully you can see that. We've got a broken tailbone. And basically it crashed, the end splintered, now it won't stay in place. Pretty typical stuff. As far as I know, they said the tail motor's still good, so this is going to be a fairly simple repair as far as I can tell, unless there's some damage that's not obvious. So we'll set this down here for a second, and here you can see the rotor blade is in there as well. The tail rotor blades. I guess you call it a prop because it's all one piece, and the tail fin is in there, and the transmitter's in there. The transmitter looks great. I didn't see any scuff marks or cracks on it or anything like that. Let me see if I can set this down for a second. Okay. Sorry about this. I don't have a cameraman, so I'll just do the best I can here. So, a really good look at that. I did notice that it doesn't have batteries in it, which is fine, I would have put fresh ones in it anyway, so no problem there. And as I said, no apparent damage to the transmitter. At first glance, it looks really good. The antenna's intact. Sometimes they get dropped and that'll get broke, but this looks fine. The sticks and I don't see any problem with it. I think this is going to be fairly simple, and I already have parts on order from Horizon Hobby, and those should arrive any day now. So I expect to have this thing in the air within a week, and I'm going to try to document the repairs and any new damage I find, and we'll see how it all comes out in the end. And I figured here's the way I look at what I paid for this. I paid $85 for it, including shipping, so I'm figuring I paid about $75 for the helicopter, $10 for shipping. Now these retail right now for like $169.99, so $170. So the tail boom, the tail boom kit is really inexpensive, so that's not a big deal. And the only other thing that it might need is a tail rotor, which I already have some of those in stock, the tail prop, so no problem there. I already checked the tail fin, the mounting brackets are good on it, there's no damage to it, that's just popped right back on. So it's, I expect this to be a real simple thing, and the owner said that the motors still work, it's just a matter of the tail end is broke. So, and I kind of feel bad in a way because it's such a simple repair, but I guess to some people it might look like a real major problem and they just didn't want to get involved in all that. So Anyway, I'll be updating this soon. So this is part 1 of the crash damaged Blade 120S2, and I'll be returning it to normal, to stock. And the one improvement I'm going to make on it, and I've done this with my other 120S and my 120S2, is to change the swash plate. I'm sorry, no offense to Blade Horizon. I think the original swash plate is garbage. I mean, when you crash, the linkage to the swash plate should break before the swash plate does. But I've had a couple of these now that after a crash or mishap, the swash plate has broken, and there's the linkage still there attached to the arm off the swash plate that just broke off. And I really think that's a design flaw, because the linkage should be the sacrificial part, the part that should break first, because those don't cost hardly anything. But the swash plates are a little bit more expensive, so that's the one upgrade I'm going to do. I'm going to definitely put a machined CNC metal, either titanium or aluminum swash plate on it, and I would recommend that to anybody. And real quick, I'll talk about some of the other custom stuff that's out there. You can get the CNC grips in the hub for the head assembly. They also make a CNC tail motor mount. They make custom landing gear with aluminum, with the machined brackets, and then you attach to those each skid, which are carbon fiber. And that's all great looking stuff, but I'll tell you what, the problem is all that stuff weighs too much. So, and they also make, fiberglass canopies for these, which also adds weight. So I kind of found out the hard way, you do all that. This helicopter is not equipped to handle all that extra weight. It's just not going to fly very well. So I've returned mine back to stock, except for the swash plate. Everything else I've gone back. I got the stock grips on mine, the stock rotor hub assembly, all that. It just flies better that way. And I did switch the landing gear to another plastic landing gear made by Horizon that is for another model, and I'll get into that later. And I like that because it's a little tougher to put on, but it gives it a wider stance, which I think makes it more stable when you're landing. So anyway, we'll talk about that in another video. So anyway, this is what's coming up. Will be the repairs to the crash damaged eBay found Blade 120S2 RTF package helicopter. I'll talk to you soon. Stay safe. Don't crash. If you do, don't worry about it, because everybody does. You all have a good day.